Okay, folks, this is episode 81 or 81st episode of the Read Method Insider podcast. And tonight we have a very special and entertaining guest on the show joining us. Our special guest is definitely passionate and willing to do almost anything.
Now I'm scared.
That involves helping, inspiring, and empowering others. A self-proclaimed course junkie, and I know that because I've been on the course with her. She has been taking different courses for over 30 years as her love for learning runs very deep. She's an empowerment coach, workshop facilitator, retreat leader, and international best-selling author, folks, as well as a Guinness World Record participant and meditation expert. This variety keeps her very busy and entertained, but does not detract from her focus, which is to help her clients find their ease and grace in a peaceful and harmonious way. Well, folks, it's indeed fun to welcome our special guest, Marianne Padjan, to the show.
Oh my goodness, I feel so amazing. I love that introduction. I feel like I have a lot to live up to now.
Well,
can I just show you my mug?
Yes.
Can you tell them where I got this mug?
Well, maybe you should tell them where you got that mug.
Is it yachty.com?
Yes.
www.yachty.com. Can you spell yachty because I don't want to misspell it?
YAAHDY.com.
There you go. This came to me straight from Jamaica, people.
Yeah.
Look at this. Peace and love. What meditation teacher doesn't want to have this?
Look at that.
Perfect. So just so you know, this is Everald's, let's call it hobby, part-time hobby. Part-time hobby. You can get it on yachty.com.
And you spotted that mug right away. Peace and love. Right off the bat.
We met in a course and Everald's speaking and I'm going through my phone with the website. I'm going, oh my gosh, I got to get this mug. Are you kidding me? It's amazing. And it came right at Christmas. I think it actually arrived either Christmas Eve, because I don't know if they did post or it was the day before. It was like, boom. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Just in time for all those special hot drinks on Christmas.
Of course. And I do teach meditation, so it's with me all the time, right?
Oh, look at you.
How appropriate.
That's awesome. Yes. So, well, here we are, folks. We are going to talk tonight about the importance of self-empowerment. And this is a very big deal because, one of the first things I want to ask, and I think a lot of our listeners will say, well, what is self-empowerment anyways? Like, what is it and why is it important?
So self-empowerment is a little like self-love, not a little like, it is self-love, that it encompasses that as well. And so why do we need it? If we all loved ourselves enough, and if we were all self-empowered, and think about if you've ever gone to like a Tony Robbins or any kind of, course, especially with Tony, he's so rah. Mm-hmm. And I actually just did one with him this week. So you feel amazing. You feel empowered, energized, you're powerful, you're ready to go. The best part of you has come out and now you're ready to take on the world. Well, who doesn't want to feel like that every day? Right?
Absolutely.
Who doesn't want to feel like that every day? And so can you imagine an entire universe, an entire world of people feeling good about themselves, not having any issues? The path to self-empowerment is a little lengthy, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes for some people, and for others not as lengthy, but there's some work to be done, and not everyone's willing to do it, right? So there's these deep wounds stuck inside of our bodies, so it's important to do some energy healing. It's important to do massages. It's important to go on vacations. It's important to read books, courses. That's the reason I do it. And super important is to have a coach, of course, right?
Yeah, variety. Sounds like having variety is important in self-empowerment.
It is. That's how we get there. But being self-empowered, if we were all self-empowered, we wouldn't have any wars. We wouldn't have any, I don't want to say we wouldn't have any drama. We'd have some, but probably not things like wars. Like that's pretty nasty, right?
So when it comes to personal empowerment, does that begin with or involve self-awareness?
Absolutely. Self-awareness, that's what it's all about. It's all about self,
Mhm.
So everyone thinks, oh, I'm going to be all empowered and I'm going to do this and I'm going to go out and I'm going to control this person and I'm going to tell him what to do. And I'm going to need this from him and her and I'm going to need that. And it's not, it's all here. It's all about you. The only person in the world you have any kind of control over is yourself. If you think you have control over others, you're mistaken, because
Mhm.
even the ones that are a little susceptible to suggestion, let's call it, even they will eventually leave you. So, yeah.
I've kind of experienced that where, people will come to you and make you believe that they value your opinion a lot and they're listening and they're for you, they're on your side. And at the first opportunity, they actually bail. So, yeah, I can attest to that. So, speaking about that, though, you hear all the time that nothing changes unless you change. So, if you want to live the life that you can imagine that you can live, you should live, then you must be the one to take control, as you were saying. So, is taking control of your life just, nice sounding cliche, or how does one go about taking control?
No, it's not a cliche. It is maybe a little bit now cliche because we're talking a lot about it. Just
Yeah.
not everyone's doing it yet.
Yes.
People think, oh, I went to a yoga class and I'm all zened out now. Well, good for you. That's not enough. That's not enough. Like, you need to do other things. And it's not, those 30 minutes of yoga or those 60 minutes of yoga or even those 90 minutes of yoga. That's great. And that's a fantastic practice for you. I actually
I
am
couldn't
trained.
last 90 minutes in the yoga.
I actually have had 90-minute classes and I've taught them, but I'm trained in Kundalini yoga, which is a very unique type of yoga. And there's a lot of focus on breath work and so on. So there's always meditation involved with that. So you're probably looking at an hour or so of yoga and then maybe half an hour of meditation, let's say. I've also gone to New Mexico, where I've been in the mountain desert, and we've done 3 days in a row of meditation. So it's pretty fantastic. But, and those are beautiful things, but that's just not enough. It's like, if you go to one course, oh, I went to Tony Robbins, just for instance. Oh, I went there. Well, that's not enough. It's not enough to do one course.
No.
It would be great if it was.
No, you always have to be consistently learning. I mean,
I think so. Yeah. Especially leaders.
Yeah. I don't think it
entrepreneurs.
pays anything to do one course. You have to be a consistent or avid learner to really take yourself to another level, really.
And you have to immerse yourself into it. It has to be a part of your life. Like, you could, people say this is like a walking meditation. It's like a life meditation. You could be in the person you are in a meditation, where you're not so reactive, where you're calmer, where you make clearer, more defined decisions, and so, with the last year being as unique as it has, we've encountered an extra need for mental health. Mental health, depression, anxiety is rampant more than ever before. Like, I would say probably 75% at least of my clients are anxiety and depression.
I definitely can attest to that, because one of a colleague of mine in the UK just started a movement called Men Able, where it focuses on men's mental health in the automotive space that we are in.
Oh,
And
that's amazing.
because it's such a big deal.
That.
Yeah, Men Able. And his name is Stephen Witten. And we met in Vegas on our last speaking engagement there. And then we've continued discussion since. And he's been on my show. And COVID kind of just set this off, because you send a bunch of men home with no work and can't go into the dealership. And for a lot of people, it's an escape. Work is almost an escape from their other problems, right?
It is.
And if you take that away and they're not earning their money and they're not feeding the family, and that's just going to drive some people crazy. So I can certainly understand. So
COVID has done a lot for a lot of people.
Yeah. It's done very good for Zoom,
Yes.
for some companies.
Zoom, Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely. But other people haven't handled it so well, and I guess we've all been trying to see how we can reach out and how we can, touch and contribute to others and uplift others and encourage people to, be, strong and, try to, tough it out, so to speak, because I get this a lot too, almost on a daily basis. What are we going to do for another month, and how long is this going to go on? So, but anyways, is there a process? A step 1, 2, etc. to self-empowerment? How does one start? How does one know that they've even started?
I don't know that I do step 1, step 2. It just so depends where the person's at. So like if I'm doing a one-on-one session, of course I'm going to customize it so you're addressing whatever level they're at.
Mm-hmm.
By now, by today's standards, pretty much everyone has heard of meditation. Even if you've never done it, you've at least heard of it.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're coming to me for a session, you're going to get meditation. So that's for sure. And I'm sending you home with meditation homework to do on your own as well. And we even did the meditation. I think I was just telling you, I just did a summit last weekend, and we did we tried to implement a little more, and then we get a little behind, but we did do some meditation in the actual summit, which was fantastic. And I'm now trying to, not trying, I'm actually putting a program together, and it's almost done, and I'm taking it into corporations, for their wellness program. So whether these corporations are ready just yet, but I think they're going to have to be ready soon. There's an awful lot of talk, and it's not, it's international now. It's
huge. It's necessary, and it's everywhere, and corporations should embrace this.
Huge. It's huge. So yeah, I'm going to actually put together, I was going to just do it live. Live on Zoom. Mm-hmm. And then I thought, you know what, I will give them a live. And then I will also, I think we'll call it like Meditation Monday. We'll do the live on Mondays, or, as much as I can on Mondays. Well, can't do everybody on Mondays.
No.
we'll do some recording. So I'll do it that way as well. But
so speaking of Meditation Mondays.
Yes.
How about we do meditation for the next?
Excellent.
Let's make this our meditation Monday.
Look at my drum, everybody! It's a steel drum, and it's awesome. I got it at a wellness show. It's beautiful.
Wow.
Excellent. So let's just do a little meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a couple minutes. Okay, great. So for everyone, if you could just come sitting up, you want your neck straight, and you always want your spine straight just because of the movement of the energy. Mm-hmm. You want to close your eyes. I will keep mine open. Otherwise, the entire show because I will go off and I won't come back for half an hour. So that's not good. I will keep my eyes open, and also I'm going to play some music on my drum, so I need my eyes open for that. So
I'll close my eyes. Okay,
yeah, but you can close yours.
But I'll watch the time in the next the one eye.
No, it's okay. It's only going to be a few minutes. Don't worry, because I do Meditation Minute with Marianne. So we usually do a 1-minute meditation. We'll make it a minute and a half this time. Nice. Don't worry. Okay, great. So inhale and exhale. And inhale and hold the breath for a count of 2 and exhale and inhale, hold the breath for a count of 3 and stay with that. And inhale. And exhale. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. One last big inhale. And exhale, open your eyes, shake it off, shake, 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 shake all the negative energy off.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying not to slap my lights.
That's good. That would be good. That would be fantastic. Thank you so much for letting me do that. Isn't that lovely?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay, let me move that just in case I have to flap anymore.
We always want to get rid of the negative energy and always want to bring
shake
in
it
as
off.
much positive energy as we can. You know what? We always want everything that comes with meditation is so amazing. I mean, I've been doing it for, I don't want to have to say this, but close to 40 years, because that'll just reveal my age. But yes, and I've been teaching it for probably just a bit over 23 plus years. Yeah, so wow. I love it. I love it.
Wow.
It's such
well,
a
look at you
doing
exactly what you love. That's awesome.
Love it, love it, love it. Totally
love it. Got to have it. Yes. So
I will be writing a book. Robert keeps bugging me about when I'm going to do it, but I'm writing a book. I want to create like a little pocket size meditation book, the kind that you would buy at like the airport and take with you on the plane because you need to calm down because you're crazy.
Yes.
You're scared of flying. Not now.
Yeah. No. Not for a while.
Yes. I'm also going to be putting out a series of self-empowerment books. So each one will be called self-empowerment, and then it will have a subtitle. So the first one may be self-empowerment, letting go. We're also going to do one for self-empowerment, young adults, self-empowerment, you are enough. Like there'll be a whole series. There's going to be 12 of them. So that's what I have in mind.
Wow.
And to complement also my one-on-one coaching as well as my courses. So my courses are also called self-empowerment, and then each one is different and they match the books. So
look at you. So a 12 series self-empowerment book series.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
And I've only ever done live and in person. I've been doing in-person courses and retreats also forever, but this is kind of sort of new to me, the whole Zoom thing, but I've already done the courses over Zoom, so I like that. What we're looking at doing now is to create some recorded ones, just because then we could make a more reasonable price, and then it's more affordable for everyone.
Yeah, and then that way you can cater to a lot of different audiences.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
got to get the love out to as many people as possible.
So another element or component of personal empowerment, I think, has to do with having a positive mindset. And yeah,
I think I have one.
I think you do. But many people don't. Right. So you say, well, yoga or meditation, and they're like, you get all this negative talk and no participation, or, no one wants to try anything new. That people don't like to try things new sometimes. So how does a positive mindset, or what does it take, in terms of mindset for someone to make this shift?
Oh, taking some people's minds and trying to make them positive, it takes a very long time. It doesn't have to, though. It doesn't have to, but you do have to immerse yourself into it. So, when I was younger, I had self-love issues, obviously, or self-worth issues like any regular teenage girl would. And so one time, it's funny because I did this recently again, and I teach it all the time. I give it to girls, to teenagers. I do a lot of teenagers, right? Because there's been also a rise in suicide with teenagers as well. So it's hugely important to address the teenage sort of component there. They really have a tough time coping with this. I mean, can you imagine? I had a hard time being a teenager, and we didn't have, this. We didn't have a lockdown. We didn't have anything. I mean, we were crazy.
Yeah.
and still we thought we had issues. So Positive mind. Yeah. So one of the things I did was I took a journal, because I have probably right now that I'm using, I can see 8 of them here. 8 of them are here, journals. I have one by my bed. I have one in the living room, and I have at least one in the car, just in case I'm somewhere and I need a journal.
Wow.
So I am continuously writing in journals, whatever. So this particular exercise was, I said, okay, I am going to learn how to love myself if it's the last thing I do. So I took a journal and I had to write a minimum of 1 page. So 1 page, that would be a minimum that I would have to write. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. Now that's not enough, but it does hit the neurons in your brain a little bit. So it does help. It's not the only thing I did, but I did do that. I remember one day it was so bad. I think I wrote 13 pages because it was just such a tough day.
Wow.
I did this for a year and 3 months. And then I just kind of stopped. I guess I felt better about myself and I loved myself more. So, I'm not superwoman. Well, I kind of am, but no, I'm not superwoman. So I'm human. So I have my days and my moments, but for the most part, I'm pretty comfortable with myself now. It took me, quite a while, and, writing in a journal is, again, not enough, but you couple that with a gratitude journal. So you've got to have the I love myself journal, the gratitude journal, the goals have to happen. Goals have to be ongoing. You have to do goals. I do goals every New Year's ish. So it could last sometimes for 2 weeks. I write down 100 things.
So is this why you have like 8 different journals? Is a theme for each one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Most people can't even keep one journal or write 8 things in a journal. You've got 8 separate journals.
Yeah. One is for one book. One is for the other book. One is for this course. One is for the other course. So I was at a course, and I was already booking my next coaching / course with Robert. So I was doing that while I'm listening to Tony, and then I'm doing my stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then I'm doing something over here. Then I've got this. Then I put my courses together, right? That if I get an idea, oh, this is a great exercise, I got to do this. You see, now I have to rethink everything because I'm used to doing things in person.
Yeah.
And we can't do that. There's no touching. There's no nothing. Like we have rooms and things, but we need to come up with different strategies, different ways of getting to people, right? When it's on Zoom. However, Zoom is amazing because I get people all over the world, which is my favorite thing, right?
Yeah. So with that said, with the Zoom and people all over the world, how have you found self-empowerment? Because it takes self-empowerment for a lot of people to come on Zoom or to engage in this medium to communicate.
Yes.
To learn from home, even students and teenagers that you talked about learning from home, it's a huge adjustment for a lot of people, right?
It is.
So how does in the world that we're living in right now, how does one adapt a little bit more, or what can one take away from today's talk on how to help through these tough times?
Come on to a Zoom. Zoom is easy, actually. It's an easier way for people to sort of pull back, and you give them time. Hopefully, whoever is facilitating the course isn't going to force you into some sort of participation that you're not comfortable with.
Yeah.
But if you make the first class or 2 something a little easier, where it's one-on-one, one with yourself, where you're writing down things and you're not so much interactive right away. I find that a little easier until people get into it. And then eventually it's hard because you create an energy. I'm a big energy healer. I'm a Reiki master. I do EHF, energy healing facilitator. So I do a lot of energy healing. And so as soon as you create that nice, loving, safe environment, on the Zoom with the people, even the ones that are super quiet and uncomfortable, I never force people to do anything. I mean, but I want to encourage you to participate, because that's how you will get the most out of it, right? Again, we're not just going to sit here and watch while everybody else does the work. You have to do some, but it's okay. It's everyone kind of moves at their own speed. And so you want to make it safe for everyone, but it's actually a really great place. And then you should see people just like, eventually they're like, blah, blah, and then all of a sudden they unleash and it's like, holy smoke, was this the same person that came in the first day? It was tight, and so they start to feel safe because, a lot of, people have lost their jobs. Like there's all kinds of horrible things and people have lost people. Relationships have been a disaster zone, and not all has been bad. For me, I had like a full-time career, and that has changed because that has kind of gone a little different for me anyways. And then this kind of came up and I got so busy with this that I couldn't do. I still kind of tried to participate a little bit with that, but yeah, it's as long as I'm empowering people, I'm happy.
Yeah. So, with the adjustments that so many people have had to make, with work-life balance today, with being stuck, quarantine, homeschooling, you name it. What do you recommend to those people who are like so much going on now that it's literally all under the same roof?
That's right. And it is tough because all the families are now stuck together. You know what, though, for me, this has worked out really well, and it has for a lot of other people. And if you can find some time to just connect with yourself and be okay with that. I've taken advantage of a lot of courses. I'm almost scared to say that out loud. But I have, because there's so much out there now, and there's so much more reasonably priced because they're on Zoom. We don't have to fly anywhere. We don't have to pay for the hotel. Already that in itself, and the course itself is usually a bit cheaper. So, courses, get a coach. Take this time to be with yourself. Read, journal, learn how to meditate if you haven't yet. There's so much, if you don't know how to meditate, certainly come to me, but there's so much other stuff out there that you could certainly learn how to meditate anywhere, anytime. But take that time for yourself and see, because I think we've also been given this time for a reason, right? Where, because at first it's frustrating, because at first I was like, okay, yeah, this is good. I can sleep in a few days. This is good. I'm kind of tired. I work long hours at work. And then I have other things that I do. I've always been doing this on the side. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, okay, some sleep would be good. I actually slept 13 hours every day for the first 7 days. And I haven't done that since I was a kid, I don't think. And the only other time I did it was because I was so busy with the summit that all last week I was a little, not 13 hours, but maybe 10 for a couple of days, just catching up. But it's time for you. Take that time for yourself and say, okay, you know what? Let me evaluate my life. Let me see where I'm at. If you're unhappy, I don't want to say in the relationship, you need to certainly assess that on your own. But if you're unhappy with your work, or you're like, wow, I'm so happy to be home, or I hate being home. Sometimes people need to change their homes and they don't think about that because they don't have time. They're at work. They're never at home. Now it's time to address, oh my gosh, where do I live? Like, look at all the people, look at what's happening with real estate. I'm also a real estate agent as well. So look at what's happened with real estate. Everything has flipped. So Toronto is no longer the big, okay, there's some people buying now because the prices have come down a bit. But look at what's happening around the GTA. Outside of the GTA, cottage country is, I haven't seen this ever, I don't think. I mean, like the prices are outside of the city are just insane. And they're having the multiple offers that, well, sometimes we have them here too still, but
yeah.
The craziness of a year or two ago that we had, that they're having that right now, which is fantastic. I actually want to move out away. So now the prices have gone up and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. No, it's just, you're right. It's unbelievable how things have shifted.
Everything is shifting.
Everything.
I don't know. Change is difficult for human beings to handle, right? Which is another reason. So, once these people start going back to work, That's why I'm saying the wellness programs, I think with the meditation and, some sort of empowerment coaching for people is going to be necessary, because people are looking more and more for this. Like, the need is there. Everyone is scared.
Yeah.
They're anxious. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what to expect. That's a lot for a human mind.
So a lot of people have done some self-assessments and family assessments and career assessments.
Yep.
And home assessments and with the adjustments that some people have made to move to cottages, for example, or move out of town, they're getting used to and liking that environment, and many are not coming back to the city.
I love working at home.
Yeah. So, and you're right. Some people like it, and people who have maybe lived, either by themselves or just with another person or two. As long as there's space, you can still have some space at home. I think it works for a lot of people.
Sure. I think if you can, I know lots of people. My girlfriend has 3 little kids, and both her and her husband work from home. So one is upstairs, one is downstairs, one is doing this with the kids when the other ones do, they do what they have to do. If the daycares are open, I guess they do something with that just to get some space. But I think it's beautiful. For me, it's worked out great. The only thing I'm looking forward to is traveling, once the borders kind of open, because I do international retreats. So the last one I did was in Hawaii for, haven't done that for a long time, but I'd like to get out there and do more international retreats. So
nice.
I'm looking forward to that one day.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to travel again freely for a change.
Yes.
Without quarantines and this, that. So
yeah.
So Marianne, tell us 3, if you had just met me and you were talking to me about self-empowerment and, especially in the time that we're in right now, what are 3 things or 3 things you would leave me with or suggest or as a takeaway?
Meditation for sure. I think that's a given. I'd have you do meditation, if depending on where you're at. So let's say you're not a meditator at all. So we're going to start you off with 3 minutes a day. Everyone can do 3 minutes a day. It's why I do meditation minute. And I have it slapped all over Facebook and anywhere anyone will actually listen to me. Yes. Because anyone can find 1 minute, right? So if you go home and if you commit to 3 minutes, commit to 3 minutes. And then we go from there. And then we move on to 10 minutes, 11 minutes, 30 minutes, so on and so forth. So meditation for sure, hands down, without a doubt, because it will literally take your sympathetic nervous system into a parasympathetic state, which basically means from stress to calm. And so hugely, hugely important. And that time that you have with yourself, hugely important. Journal some sort of okay, if it's only 3 things, it's going to go like this. It's going to be a gratitude journal for sure. Mm-hmm. For sure, we're going to have a gratitude journal with a gratitude practice. I'm going to call that as 1. Because every morning and every night before I go to sleep, while I'm still in bed or while I'm already in bed, I name off at least 5, sometimes 10, sometimes it goes into 20, depending what kind of crazy day I've had. So what kind of awesome, crazy day I've had. So you start talking about all the things that you're grateful for, who you're grateful for that day, what events have happened, what you're grateful for. And then same thing in the morning. So you start and end your day with gratitude, because that shifts everything. It actually takes, gratitude can actually make your body go from acidic to alkaline. Like that's Wow. How awesome it is. And so can the meditation with the breath work. Breath work, hugely important because it exercises our lungs, right? When you go and you hold that breath for a while, it actually helps to expand your lung. So you want to be able to up level the capacity of your lungs. And then another journal for sure. And that's going to be a self-love journal. So in there, you're going to put things like, I love myself because today I did this and I love that I did that. I forgive because forgiveness is huge. So because you're only giving me 3 things, and forgiveness is not a separate journal in here, then I'm gonna combine those two with the self-love. Otherwise, I have a forgiveness journal, and that's separate, because forgiveness is huge. People who can't forgive, they create cancers in their body. So we don't want any kind of negativity that we don't need. So you want to always feed your mind with the proper, healthy, positive nutrition. Always, just like you would feed your body.
Meditation, gratitude journal, self-love, forgiveness.
Yes. Wow. We'll call it self-love / forgiveness journal, and we'll start there. Yeah. And there should be some music involved in there, some sort of meditation music like I have going now.
Awesome. I love it. Well, I've learned a little bit tonight, and would certainly.
Sorry. I don't want to interrupt. Sorry. That's just for at home. But if they're allowed to go elsewhere, then I have other things too. So
outside of of course. Yeah. So let's say you're on a trip. Let's say you're traveling.
Yes.
I mean, what would you recommend?
All of that. Journals coming with me. I might only bring I have smaller journals for traveling because they're lighter, right? Like I have heavy duty journals. Like this is heavy, right? And it's leather, and it's got all my stuff.
So how do you reconcile all of that when you have so many journals everywhere? How do you remember what's in what?
Because I just do. I know this is for Celebrity You. This is for this. This is for my books. Yep. Then there's this one. Look at here. And look how little these are. So these are my traveling kind. Look how cute they are.
Wow.
Little, right? Because I don't want to be carrying heavy things. I've got a lot of travel size stuff that I haven't been able to use. Yeah. Right. So little things like this. And I like journals. Look, I have black ones. I've got mermaid ones. Look at this.
So, as an avid journalist or journalin, what would you say is the one key benefit or that journaling has brought to you?
Yes. Isn't that
Wake
great?
up and be awesome. Love it.
You have to surround yourself with this stuff. Like it's not, we're look at this. This is my favorite saying in the entire world.
I can and I will.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the question? I went off on you there for a bit.
I was just journaling. What is it? What has it done for you? Like doing it so much, what's the one thing that says, okay, I have 8 books, 8 different journals. I do it every day. I've done it for years. What drives you to do it?
Yeah, it allows me to spend time with myself. So, and now I have a lot of time with myself, but I am pretty busy. So I actually love when I have time to sit and journal, especially if it's a creative kind of journaling, right? Another journal might be for one of my courses. So when we're doing the course, then I'm just writing stuff down. So it's also a self-love, self-empowerment, self-worth issue. Also, when I buy myself nice journals, instead of, I could go and buy those regular pieces of paper and write stuff on there. Yeah. See the face you made when I said that? Yeah, I could have regular paper. Sure. No problem. But, and it does the job. It doesn't not do the job. But when I pick up this journal, I get excited because I get to use this one, because this is the one. And then look at the crazy pens I have. Like I can't even have everything here. Like this is ridiculous. I get crazy. Look at this. I mean, for girls, obviously you're a guy, so you're not going to get into this.
You could do a whole course on journaling.
I could. And sometimes I do. And
I've not met anyone that has 8 journals and all the fancy pens and all the fancy themes and covers. That's really interesting. That's good.
I do. And I just got because I got a gift certificate.
And you got more journals.
I got a gift certificate. My favorite store. I went to HomeSense and they have these beautiful journals. So I got it was a red suede. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. I know, like, and then you get excited because now it's like, oh great, now I get to sit there and write. And then you have these beautiful papers and it's like, oh, what am I going to write in this one? Wake up and be awesome. That should definitely be a self-love. But because it's little, it travels with me wherever I go, right? So it's just nice. And it's like writing goals, right? You do goals.
Oh, absolutely. I love goal setting.
Goals are the best, right? And you can't just do goals once a year for the year. You got to do them once a week, once a day.
Yeah.
Daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals.
Yeah. To be successful with goal setting, it has to be consistent. That's for sure. So
yeah. Like I still have goals. I still go corporate. I can, I'm a hippie at heart. Like, look at me with a steel drum, my peace signs, meditation. I have a big peace sign here on my wall. I have this.
And you bought the peace mug.
And I have my awesome peace mug from yadi.com, www.yadi.com.
There you go.
And all of that, but I can function in the corporate world. I understand that ROI is hugely important. I understand how that part works. And my meditation isn't all just like, oh, hey, let's all just, oh yeah, we're just going to inhale, exhale all day. No, this is going to actually help you. This will help you focus. You will have a clearer mind. You will be a better leader if you're a team leader, or you will be a better employee, or you will be a better receptionist. You will be a better machinist. You will be a better plant manager. You will be a better CEO if you do this. I mean, Tony Robbins does it. Richard Branson does it. Oprah does it. These people would not waste their time with their busy schedules meditating if it wasn't beneficial to them, right? So
outstanding. So how does the audience get a hold of Marianne to book some of this special time with you?
Well, I'm on Facebook all the time, because I'm constantly posting. I'm also on Twitter, on LinkedIn. I am on Instagram, and it's just Marianne Padjan, my name, and my email, the best email to get me at. That's the best way to get me, just because throughout the day, and with people in the UK and Australia and all kinds of time zones, I'm all over the place. So the best way is email, and that would be spiritualtouch11@gmail.com. That's spiritualtouch, the number 11 @gmail.com. That's the best way. Or you could go on my website too, which is www.meditationminutewithmarianne.com. Sometimes I have to remember.
And we'll have this episode on all over the podcast platforms, Spotify, Google Play, SoundCloud, you name it, you'll find it there, edited and ready to go. We'll also be sharing all over Facebook, LinkedIn, all the different social platforms. We'll edit this show and have it up for you. So we always enjoy hearing from you folks and getting your feedback and suggestions.
Yes, please.
And send your feedback to insider@thereadmethod.com, and we'll certainly engage Marianne, and we'll do so when we post and share all her really interesting episode that I participated in and meditated in for about a minute and a half. And this is the first episode we've brought music and a drum to the show. So, a little different today. And no doubt, Marianne's a very passionate guest that I'm sure you'd love to get connected with. And it's not just your regular meditation or regular, session here. She's very passionate about what she does and has been doing it for decades. So we definitely want to thank Marianne for being on the show. And there it is. Meditationminutewithmarianne.com.
I know it doesn't even fit. I should probably put, look at, I'm so not techie, eh? So this has been, and I'm over 50. So I was not born into computers in high school. Well, they were just bringing computers into the school when I was leaving. So
I'm slightly over 52, so it's okay. We all learn, and we learn different things, and we adapt. So, folks, so please subscribe and download your favorite episode on iTunes, SoundCloud, wherever you get your podcast. And don't forget, while you're there, leave us a review. It really helps us. And another one of so Marianne's email address is spiritualtouch11@gmail.com, spiritualtouch11@gmail.com. So definitely reach out to her there. She's on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. She's everywhere. Can't miss her. Definitely email her.
Definitely email me. That's right. The best.
Exactly.
And thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been fun. I mean, we have, Marianne here has joined the other really top-notch guests who has been on the show. Les Brown, who I'm sure you're familiar with. Yes. Todd Stottlemyre, Robert has been on. Stephen Benson from Badger Maps. Les
Brown's daughter, Serena Brown, she did the foreword for our book here.
And what's the title of that particular? Because
this one is Magnetic Entrepreneur. So this is Robert J. Moore's book, and I was a co-author there, and it's called Self-Empowerment.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So the book Self-Empowerment, and the show today Self-Empowerment, and we want to thank Marianne Padjan for being on the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And folks, always remember for 2021, always be thoughtful, be intentional, and please be safe. And I'll add one from Marianne, love yourself.
Love yourself. And can I just say one thing too?
Yes.
Whatever your heart desires, do it. Do not wait for any level of perfection. Perfection doesn't really exist. If you want to do it, just do it.
Just do it. That's what I'm going to do. All right. Well, thank you, Marianne. Looking forward to catching up again soon.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And namaste, everyone.